Hello students, I welcome you all for this biology session. Myself Sunil CHITTAL, Faculty of Biology. Hope you and your family members are safe and in good health. Please take all necessary precautions to stay safe in this pandemic situation of COVID-19 or the SARS-CoV-2, whatever you call it. Anyhow, today in this session of biology, I am going to begin with a zoology topic called Animal Kingdom. Now, before starting with this, I want to share with you few things. Remember, this chapter is a very important one in the biology. It is a memory-based chapter where you need to remember lot of things for your exams. As you are an aspirant of Neet and especially CET also, right? You are writing your exam in 2022. So it is very important. You cannot keep this chapter pending till up to your Neet exam you cannot carry forward it to your second year. So whatever preparation you want to make for the Neet and CET, please do it here itself. Okay, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಇದನ್ನ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರಿಗೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಪೋನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೀಸನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ನಿಮಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಡಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಇಗ್ನೋರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್? ನಾಟ್ ಎಟ್ ಆಲ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು how much the chapter is important. First of all, for Neet till up to 2019 we used to say that, or we used to expect from this chapter, out of 90 question, 2 questions used to come. 4 into 2, 8 marks from this chapter. Okay, but up to 2019 2 questions, but in 2020 your super seniors wrote the exam, right? 4 questions appeared from this chapter. So I hope you are getting the importance of the chapter Animal Kingdom for your Neet preparation, right? Secondly, so 4 question means 4 into 4. Check it out. How much marks and where your medical seat will be and what will happen if you ignore this chapter. Secondly, for CET, you may expect usually 1 question every time you will get from this chapter. The third importance of the chapter is the kingdom Animalia. Okay, in first PU, you are going to study a unit called Human Physiology. Under Human Physiology, 7 chapters are there. So this entire Human Physiology with a bunch of 7 chapters is very important and interesting one for your Neet as well as for your CET exam. Because you want to be a future doctor, you should be very thorough with the Human Physiology. Remember, when I start Human Physiology, from the first chapter in that, out of 7, the digestive system, that is digestion and absorption, you know the chapters, right? Thereafter I will go to respiratory system, circulatory, excretory, up to nervous system and the hormonal or the endocrinology, what we study here. Every time when I begin the chapter, when you start with these 7 chapters of Human Physiology, the first thing that you do is you compare your anatomy, different organs and organ systems which are available. You compare your anatomy of organs and organ systems with the other members, rest of the members available in Animal Kingdom. You are going to compare the physiology of yours with the other members of the kingdom Animalia. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ, human physiology ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ very important. Every chapter, say for example, when you study your excretory system, you will not just study about your kidney. What you will do, you compare the excretory system with the other members of the kingdom Animalia. You will see how during the course of evolution the excretory system got modified. ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. Gradually during the course of evolution it got modified, different modifications have been made. So finally ನಮಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ನೇಚರ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವುದು? ಕಿಡ್ನಿ, right? The best one for removing the nitrogenous waste. Likewise, when you discuss your circulatory system, when you speak about your 4-chambered heart, what you do? You will compare your 4-chambered heart with the 3-chambered heart two-chambered heart of other members of the kingdom Animalia, as well as with some invertebrates also. So that is the third importance of this chapter. So please don't carry forward it to next year. Prepare now itself. It is one of the very important point, okay, and you need not to get bored here or distracted here. You have to remember, you have to recall all the things. By practice, this chapter becomes very easy for you, that I will guarantee you. Okay, whenever I discuss this chapter with you, please try to recall along with me. Okay, think yourself that you are in the class only, recall the things. Yes, now let me begin with the topic. You know, starting from Aristotle, many taxonomists, they try to classify these organisms, and finally, you know, that is Whittaker who proposed the 5 kingdom classification: Protista, Monera, right, fungi, plantae, and here I am discussing about the 5th kingdom. What is that? Kingdom Animalia, nothing but about animals. When I just say about animals, the few things that strikes to our mind is, every animal is a eukaryotic organism having a property called growth, will show reproduction. Majority of the animals reproduce by sexual, some of them even reproduce by asexual method. Whenever we speak about animals, animals will show the locomotion majority. It is not hard and fast rule that all will locomote. No, nothing like that. Majority of the animals will show the locomotion, show the movement, right? Very importantly, right, we animals are able to respond to the stimulus. Whenever, right, if anything is happened, if something is touched or someone hit me, right, I will respond to that stimulus. When light falls on my eye, I will respond. Responding to the stimulus is one of the, right, main property of the members of kingdom Animalia with the development of the nervous system. But dear student, remember, these properties which I have just now quoted, like ನಾನೇನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, animals ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ growth ಇದೆ, they reproduce, there is locomotion and movement, there is response to the stimulus, animals are eukaryotic. But remember, these features are not enough to classify the millions of species available under the kingdom Animalia. So to classify them for our study purpose, I need some very important characters. So in this session as well as in next session, first we will try to see what are the very important basic characters that we can use here, okay, to classify the kingdom Animalia. Almost third session ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ನಾನು kingdom ಅನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, classify ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. Already you have studied it in the theory class, you have a knowledge of it. So by that, don't think that I know everything, let me skip or forward the video. No, don't do that. Okay, listen to me everything. I will tell you every moment of time which are the things very important for your NEET exam and CET exam, how you need to prepare. Listen it, it will become very perfect to you. So in this session as well as in my next session, what I will do, I will try to, right, first learn some of the basic characters, some important characters other from these 5, growth, reproduction ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ವೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೆಲವು characters. These characters can help me and you to classify the kingdom Animalia. So what are they? Let us begin one by one. Okay, first I will start with a very important property that I can use in the classification is habitat. What is habitat? Habitat is a place on the earth where a organism or an animal, not just animal, any organism, I repeat, it is a place on the earth where an organism or an animal, right, can find optimum conditions for its survival as well as for reproduction. Is it possible for we human beings to directly go to some polar region? Or let me say, is it possible for we human beings to easily survive in Antarctica? where the temperature is very low, we will find very much difficulty, right? It becomes very difficult for us. So we need to do some more, what is that? We need to carry something else. So it is not the case. So habitat, remember, is a place on the earth where an organism or an animal finds optimum condition, best condition for what? For survival and reproduction is called habitat. So to continue our generation, alwa, ನಮ್ಮ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಫುಡ್ ತಿಂದು ನಾವು ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆದರೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Reproduction becomes a very essential phenomena. So whenever we speak about any animal, the first phase is birth, last phase is death. But to continue the generation, what is important? Reproduction. It may be sexual method or it may be asexual method. To continue the generation, the reproduction mechanism is very important. So we will give importance to that also. So that place on the earth, we call it as what? Habitat. The habitat could be land surface or it could be water. Based on this, the habitat can be classified. So whether the animal is living in the land or in the water, the animals can be classified into three types. What are they? Number one, terrestrial animals. Number one, terrestrial animals. Number two, hope you remember, these are the very basic things, okay? Gradually I will jump to higher concept. Number two, aquatic animals. Number three, amphibians. Now let us begin with the first one. Terrestrial animals are those which are able to live on the land or dry land, right? Either the land or I can say any dry surface of the earth. Such animals are called as what? Terrestrial animals. These terrestrial animals can be, again, ಈ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, these terrestrial animals I can further classify them into different type. Okay, they may be aerial. Some of the terrestrial animals could be aerial. What do you mean by aerial? The one which can fly, especially the one which provided with wings for the flight or any other structure for flight. The animals, the terrestrial animal which can fly are called aerial. Example, very simple, the bat as well as birds. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ನೀವು ಕೂಡ recall ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So bats and birds are the best example, right? The terrestrial animal could be arboreal. What do you mean by arboreal? The one which is living on the tree. Living on the tree are called arboreal. Example, monkeys, bats, yes or no, are the example for arboreal. Or fossorial. Fussorial. Fossorial. The one animal which is living in the undergrounds or in the burrows. Animal living in the undergrowth or in the burrows, burrows. Such kind of animals are called as fossorial. Recall, which are the examples that can give me? Living in the underground. Best example, earthworm you can give, right? The earthworm, one of the very important example. Even you can give the rabbits, rat, mice, iligalu, alva. They are the example for fossorial animal. Likewise, terrestrial animals may be scansorial. What do you mean by scansorial? The animal which can climb the wall. Scansorial refers to animal which can climb the wall or the rocks. Dodda kallu bandegalu, right? Climb the wall or rocks. Such animals are called scansorial. Tell me, recall some example. Best example is wall lizard, cockroach, yes or no? They can easily, flying squirrel are the example for which one? The scansorial mode of habitat. The terrestrial animal land ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, they can be even cursorial. What do you mean by cursorial? The animal which is adapted for running, very fast running. We also can run, but we are not the best cursorial animal. But best example which one you can give, right? The cheetah it may be, the horse it may be, right? Even cockroach is also one of the very good cursorial animal. When you try to catch the cockroach, it will run away, right? So I just repeat it for you. Please recall with example. And you may ask me, sir, this is not there in the NCERT. Why I need to study? Let me tell you why. When you move on, as you proceed in biology, okay, in this chapter as well as in the chapter structural organization in animal, which is done for you might be, right, where you are going to study about cockroach, frog, right, earthworm. So there, earthworm, what they may do in the Neet, you know, earthworm is living in the soil, that every child also knows. But instead of using there, it is a subsoil organism. In the Neet, what they may do, they may use a term fossorial. So identify among this one, or earthworm is a fossorial animal. So what they will do is, they may use such technical terms in the Neet exam. Nobody can stop them. Is that clear? So indirect agi alladidru indirect agi ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ಯು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್. So aerial, the animal which can fly; arboreal, the one which can live on the tree; fossorial, living on the underground or the subsoil; scansorial, the one which can climb the wall or climb the rocks; and cursorial, the one, the terrestrial animal adapted for fast walking or for fast running. Is that clear? So these are the different kinds of terrestrial animals. Now next kind of habitat that we will find is second one, it is aquatic. The second one is which one? The aquatic mode. You know very well, the animal which are living on the water bodies. The water body could be either a freshwater body or it could be a marine water body. These aquatic animals may be zooplanktons or they may be nectans. So we will use these terms most frequently even in first PU and even in the second PU when you study about ecosystem and all. So very important one. So what are zooplanktons? Any aquatic animal or organism that float passively in the, right, passively in the, float passively along with water current. I write it here. The animals that float passively, right, float passively with water current, on the surface of water are called, on the surface of water are called zooplanktons. Okay, so these may be including, so examples for them include, you can take some of the larvae, some of the protozoans, or even some crustaceans belonging to arthropoda. They are the example. Now try to understand the meaning, what exactly it is. So animals that float in the surface of the water body along with the water current. So ನೀರು ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ನೀರಿನ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂತದ್ದು, not against the water. Is that clear? They float passively. So they are not going against the water current, they float along with the water current. That means they float passively with water current, not at the bottom of the water body. Where? On the surface of the water body are called zooplanktons. On the other hand, nectans include, let me write here, nectans, exactly opposite condition. The aquatic animals that float how? Actively. Okay. Now along with the water current or against. Here you can add the term along with water current, but here it is what? Against the water current. Against the water current, and usually again where? On the surface of the water body. Now, so what these will do? The best example, many of the fishes, like even shark also. These shark and other nectans, the animals which are there, they flow against the water current. Suppose it is the flow of the water, but it is going against, right? So when the aquatic animal float along with the water current, then it is called zooplankton on the surface of water body. If the animal move against the float of the water, right? So that is against the water current, then it is called necton. Again remember, it is in the surface of the water body only. So based on how they move as per the water current, the aquatic animal may be either zooplankton, ನೆಕ್ಟನಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಶಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ವಾಟರಿನ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Likewise, again, these aquatic animals may be benthic animal. So in echinodermata you will use this term, right? Or they may be pelagic. So what do you mean by benthos, benthic? Aquatic animal living in the bottom of the water body, in the sea or wherever. If that aquatic animal not in the surface, water body ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ರೆ, living in the bottom of the water body are called what? Benthic. Very important, bottom. Example, starfish, echinoderms, alva, they are not at the top, present at the bottom of the water body. Example, echinoderms like starfish agirbodu. You have studied already poriferans, where poriferans will be at the bottom of the water body. Corals, nothing but the some coelentrates, hydra and all. So coelentrata, poriferans, echinoderms, the animals which live in the bottom of the water body and are called benthic animal, whereas pelagic are those which are present on the surface of the water body. I hope you can make out. The animal which live at the surface of the water body, and usually both zooplanktons and nectans which are there, again both of them found at the surface. So these two are pelagic, but echinoderms, poriferans, coelentrates are what? Benthic. So this is how I can classify these aquatic animals either into freshwater animal or a marine water animal based on the salinity of the water, salt concentration of the water, alva, right? Apart from that, I can classify them into either zooplankton or necton based on are they going along with the water current or against the water current, right? And even I can classify them into benthic and pelagic, either they are at the bottom of the water body or at the surface of the water body. So first one I told you about terrestrial animal, second one aquatic animal. The third category I hope you can easily make out, it is amphibians. So who are amphibians? Who are amphibians? The animals which are able to live in both land as well as in the water, right? Best example, you know, it is there at the tip of your tongue, the word, the class amphibia itself, or I can say frogs. Frog is the best example which can manage, which can survive in both land as well as in water. To complete its life cycle, ತನ್ನ ಜೀವಿತಾವಧಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾದರೆ ಆ ಫ್ರಾಗಿಗೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಡಿಯ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್. ವಿದೌಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ದ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ cannot continue its generation. So animal which can survive in land and water are called amphibians. So this is the kind of classification of animals based on their habitat. So The first one was the character that we use here was habitat, right? The second basic thing that we can use in the classification of kingdom Animalia is the grade or level of organization. What we can do is to classify the animals, I can give some grades. For you, grades are given based on your marks, but here the animals are given grades. They are made into, separated into different levels based on what? Based on the cellular arrangement. Okay, how exactly the cells have been arranged in the animal. Based on that, we are going to give few grades. So try to recall what you have studied in the theory session. What are the different grades? So the one grade that you can give here is protoplasmic grade. Which one? Protoplasmic grade. So it is given to unicellular animals or unicellular animals. They belong to this protoplasmic grade where the animal is made up of a single cell. All activities of that animal or that organism confined within a boundary of a single cell. So animal is single cellular, means unicellular. All activities of that life or the organism is confined within the cell. Single celled animals. Okay, here the cell becomes the functional unit of that organism, or that cell becomes the functional unit of the life. So it is seen in whom? It is seen in the protozoans. So generally when we discuss the chapter Kingdom Animalia, we will keep on taking the names of few protozoans. Actually, Robert Whittaker has separated these protozoa from Kingdom Animalia. Ivattu protozoagalu like amoeba and all, they are not, one of the example is amoeba. They are not actually present in animal kingdom. What Whittaker done is, he had taken it out from animal kingdom, now it is placed in Protista. But ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. So generally ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ we will take the name of the protozoa, but today they are present in a separate kingdom. So we believe that these protozoans are the ancestors of the animals. I am not saying human. During the course of evolution, adu porifera, coelenterata evolution time alli, they act as an ancestor. Okay, their characters appear like certain animal character. That's why till today in the class we will discuss them. These protozoans like amoeba are unicellular. Okay, they exhibit which grade? Protoplasmic grade. The second grade that I can give is, I hope you are recalling it one, that is a cellular grade, where in this case the animal is multicellular, right? Body has many cells, but the cells are arranged loosely. Cells are arranged loosely. Tumba cells ide, but cells are arranged loosely. They do not form tissues. Example, which example you will recall here always? The best example is which one? Porifera, the first phylum in the Kingdom Animalia. Practice madi. I will go in the phylum order. The poriferans, hope you have seen the cellular level in case of, I hope it is visible to you, right? If you take a section of the porifera body, a simple section, you will find all these choanocytes, right? No, you will find pinacocytes, porocytes, different amoebocytes. You will find, you are going to see a flagellated collar cell called choanocyte. You are going to see some pores in the body. The animal has large number of cells. So here the animal is multicellular, but the cells, they do not form tissues. That is very important. They have been aggregated loosely. That's why it is given which grade? Cellular grade. Whereas the next one is, third grade that I can give here is, you can recall it, what is that? Tissue grade. Once again, in this case also animal is multicellular. right, multicellular animal, body is made up of large number of cells, and these cells, similar cells, have been aggregated to form a mass called what? Tissue. So ಇವರ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, similar cells have been aggregated, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದು they have arranged closely, aggregated closely to form a mass called, what is that? Tissue. Like in case of Hydra, I will repeat this once again, hope you can see here. In Hydra, the body cells, right, they have aggregated, similar cells aggregated very closely to form a mass called tissue. These cells perform almost same function, then it is given tissue grade, which is the example. The best example is the next two phylums. Which are they? One is Coelenterata, another one is Ctenophora. Okay, Coelenterata and the Ctenophora are the best example for it. The fourth one is organ grade, and the fifth one I am going to speak here. You know what is that? Organ system grade. In both the case, once again, undoubtedly the animal is multicellular. In organ grade, the cells, the large number of similar cells, they aggregated to form tissues. These tissues together form for the first time what? A organ. So in the evolution, in the animals, first time organ is found in which grade? Organ grade. ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಗಳು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ? ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ such tissues unite and become organ. These organs later form a system that is called what? Organ system. That is the difference. Say for example, in my body, stomach is there, small intestine is there, large intestine, esophagus. Such different organs, they together formed a system called digestive system. In my body, right, there is kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, urethra. All of them together form what? They formed what? A system. What is that system called? Urinary system, right? So organs, they together form a system, then it is called an association between different organs, that is called an organ system. But the expected question is, in which animal during evolution first time organs are formed? Right, and your answer is which one? Porifera cellular grade, Coelenterata, Ctenophora tissue grade. Practice along with me. Which is the next phylum? Recall it. Easy to remember. What is that? Platyhelminthes, right? So Platyhelminthes is known for the organ grade. Which is the next phylum? Aschelminthes to Chordata. That means, okay. So if I speak about the organ grade, we will find in the Platyhelminthes like planaria, you will find it in the liver fluke, in the tapeworms, right? They are the best example. First time Platyhelminthes alli ಏನು formation ಆಗಿದೆ? Organs have been formed. Very important point. They may ask this question to you, right? Organs united and formed organ system. In whom? In Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, as well as in the Chordata. Okay, here Hemichordata is missing, even Hemichordata also. From Aschelminthes up to Chordata, you are going to see which grade? Organ system grade. So here in this hierarchy, which one is most advanced? Of course, the answer is organ system grade. You can see the most advancement in this. Yes or no? Now, so here, except the first one, which is not there in the NCERT, but you know it, the animal is unicellular. In the rest all case, the animal will be what? Multicellular. This is how I have classified the animals into different groups. Now, I told you that the organ system grade is little complex, very complicated, right? It is complicated, little complex one. This organ system grade, when you look at the complexity, you will find it in their digestive system also. In the digestive system of these graded animals, you will find some complexity. Based on the complexity, the animals are classified into the animal having a complete digestive system and an animal having incomplete digestive system. Easily you will understand the meaning, but remember the examples I told you at the beginning, right? The examples, it is a memory based chapter. Now tell me, what do you mean by complete digestive system? Let me have a simple rough sketch of one animal like you are knowing about. Which one? The liver fluke. When you look at the liver fluke, it has an opening called mouth. Liver fluke belong to Platyhelminthes. This mouth will continue into its a small digestive tract. The another end of the digestive tract is open or closed. It is closed. So in incomplete digestive system, there is only one opening, that is mouth, another end is closed. But guys, when you look at this diagram in the theory as well as in the practicals also, you will see this. You are going to show a small hole here. What exactly it is? It is anus? No, I clearly told you in Platyhelminthes like liver fluke, or it may be, right, what is that? It may be the planaria. In all these, the digestive system is incomplete. Very important. Okay, digestive system is what? Incomplete. Having only one opening mouth, another end is closed. Then the question is, what exactly this opening is? It is a excretory pore. So do you think this excretory pore and anus, they perform the same function? No, right? They are separate. What is the function of excretory pore? Through which excretory waste will go out. So what do you mean by excretory waste? Suppose ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ನಾನು ಕೇಳುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ವಾ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಗೈನ್ ನೀವು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಯಾವ ವೇಸ್ಟ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಟೂ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್. One is undigested waste, jeerna agade iruva waste, that we call fecal matter or stool through anus, last opening of the digestive system. That anus through which the undigested waste will go out. But meanwhile we pass urine also. What is there in our urine? Urine as urea. What is urea? It is a nitrogenous waste. It is a metabolic waste. So guys, elimination of metabolic and other harmful waste from the body, alva, adu urea agirbodu, ammonia agirbodu, uric acid agirbodu. Elimination of metabolic and other nitrogenous and harmful waste from the body is called excretion. Elimination of undigested waste, ಜೀರ್ಣ ಆಗದೇ ಇರುವ waste ಅನ್ನ ಏನಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹಾಕೋದಕ್ಕೆ, it is not called excretion. What is that called? Egestion, or it is called defecation. So egestion, defecation is different, excretion is different. Is that clear? Through excretory pore, the nitrogenous and metabolic waste will go out, but keep in mind the digestive system is incomplete in all the Platyhelminthes. They have one common opening. You can see here, right? Look at this picture. You can see through which food will be taken inside, waste will go outside through the single opening only for intake as well as elimination. So do you think it is the better one? Of course no. Let us see the another one. What is that? Complete digestive system. What do you mean by this? Very simple, you know this, right? Here the animal body has, the digestive system has the opening called mouth. Anterior end or posterior end? Answer is anterior end. Edurugandeya end is called as what? Anterior end. Anterior end has the opening called mouth. This mouth will continue into a digestive system, or I can call it alimentary canal anta karibodu alva, right? Will lead to another opening. So both the ends are open here. Here it is only one. It is a blind sac, alva, right? The another end in this case lead to what? Anus. So mouth leading to a last opening, finally what is that called? Anus. It is the complete digestive system. Intake of the food takes place through mouth. Elimination of the undigested waste occurs through which one? The anus. So which one is better one? It is complete or it is incomplete? Of course the answer is complete. In incomplete, the undigested waste and the food taken inside both will mix up. But here there is no such thing, hence it is the better one. So it is seen in whom? It starts from usually Ascalminthes up to chordata. So try to understand. When I speak about organ system grade, different systems have different level of complexity. I am going to discuss the complexity in their digestive system. I am going to discuss the complexity in their circulatory system. Erada complexity matadtene. Digestive system complexity matadvaga, the animal may be having incomplete digestive system like the platyhelminthes. From Ascalminthes to chordata, all have which one? Complete digestive system. Now let us see the second level or the second kind of complexity in the organ system, that is which one? The circulatory system or the flow of the blood. Here the animals can be classified into two types. What are they? One is the animal with open circulatory system and the another one with closed circulatory system. Dear student, usually you will get confused between incomplete, complete, open, close. What you will do? You will write, you will shuffle them. Please don't do that. Okay. Now let us see. Circulatory system is nothing but blood circulation, alva, pumped by the heart. How exactly it flows in the body? That is the question here. Now, what exactly open? Before going to open circulatory system, let me briefly first tell you about closed. So in closed circulatory system, you will find the blood vessels, what you can see in your body also, right? You can see at the wrist region and all, right? Now, what exactly open is? Here, the NCERT defines it as the blood pumped by the heart. So, do heart is present in these animals? Yes. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಟಿಗೂ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಇಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಪಂಪ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್. ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಪಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಪಂಪ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ cavities of the body. Okay, there are some cavities in the body because in these animal to carry the blood vessels are absent. Very important. As blood vessel is absent, the blood flows through the cavities of the body. Such cavities of the body are also called hemocoel. In biology, coel refers to cavity. The cavity of the body in which blood flows is called what? Hemocoel. Okay, in that cavity the blood will simply start flowing. If you take the example of the animal cockroach only, let me take the example of cockroach. Here the cockroach has a funnel shaped heart. Okay, its heart is a tubular heart. It is not like our heart made up of many tubules. Okay, 13 such tubules are there. Through tubule the blood will come out. Okay, what will come out? The blood will be pumped out. This blood will reach everywhere. The one which is coming out will reach everywhere into some cavities in the body. You don't find any blood vessel in them. If you open their body, there are cavities. The cavities in which what will flow? The blood will flow. That cavity is called as what? Hemocoel. Is that clear? Because of the lack of the blood vessel. On the other hand, what exactly closed circulatory system is? Here, blood pumped by the heart flows through the blood vessel. Very important. Through blood vessel. This is the most basic thing that you have already learnt, right? You know this one, just try to recall it. Okay, through the blood vessel. Okay, blood vessels could be either arteries, veins or capillaries. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ blood vessel ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೂ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ಆ ಒಂದು blood vessel ಮುಖಾಂತರ, through blood vessel, the blood will reach to all tissues and cells of the body. See, in mine and your case, what happens is, say for example, this is a blood vessel, okay, in which the blood, say for example, while entering the blood was oxygenated, while leaving the blood is deoxygenated. There is artery, there is capillary, there is a vein, blood pumped by the heart. Now this blood has been delivered to, some components of the blood has to be delivered to your what? Tissues. Now blood is present in the blood vessel. So do you think in closed circulatory system the blood will comes in direct contact with the tissues? Answer is no. Alva, blood in closed circulatory system will never come in direct contact with the tissues. Say for example, while entering the blood is oxygenated, that oxygen should be given to tissues. So what do you think? The blood vessel become leaky? No. Here this oxygen will get diffused to a space present between the capillary and the tissue. What is this space called? Interstitial space. What is it called? Interstitial space. In this space already a fluid is present. That is what we call tissue fluid anta karitave alva. What is that fluid called? Tissue fluid. Animal tissues alli ನೀವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಲ್ತಿರಬಹುದು ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಒಮ್ಮೆ recall ಮಾಡಿ concept. Concept is very simple. Okay, the oxygen should be given to my cell, so they cannot directly go there because they are placed or they are flowing in a confined channel called blood vessel, especially at the capillary level. Okay, oxygen will first diffuse outside. So what is there between capillary and tissue? It is the interstitial space will be present, or that fluid filled is called the interstitial fluid, or it can be called the tissue fluid will be there. Oxygen first come to tissue fluid, from there goes to cells. Carbon dioxide produced by the cell goes to tissue fluid, from there goes to blood. Okay, glucose present in the blood first diffuses to tissue fluid, thereby it goes to cells. What I am trying to tell you here is very important. At the end of the definition you have to include that here the blood will never come in, blood will not come in direct contact with the tissues. Direct agi contact ಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ because they flow in the blood vessel in case of closed circulatory system. But in the open circulatory system, as blood flows in the body, simply flow agodrinda, say for example, here are the tissues. Can you see them? These are the tissues, right? The tissues are bathed in the blood. Tissues are coming in direct contact with the blood in case of which one? Open circulatory system. Is that clear? I repeat it once again for you. Have a look on here. Circulatory system are of two types based on the presence or absence of blood vessel. Don't say based on the presence or absence of heart. If I ask you in which case heart is present, what is your answer? Both. Ibbarali kuda heart ide. In which case blood vessel is present, your answer is enclosed. Blood vessels are missing in the open. Blood vessel andre yaudu? Especially illi capillaries, arterioles, artery a branch called arteriole, ವೆನ್ಯೂಲ್ಗಳು, ತುಂಬ ವೆನ್ಯೂಲ್ಗಳು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ವೀನ್ಸ್, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು. ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಲರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಸಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ what they may do is, so actually in some case you will find the initial blood vessel called artery, but what actually or which blood vessel is actually absent? Capillaries. Okay, so confuse ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. when you speak generally you directly say that blood vessel is absent. Suppose if they ask you in the open circulatory system which blood vessel is totally missing, option 1 artery, 2 vein, 3 capillary, totally missing ಯಾವುದು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is capillaries. Okay, capillaries ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. So if you look at here, in open circulatory system, the blood pumped through the heart, see, through the initial blood vessel, you can call it as an artery. The initial artery will be there. Through artery, the blood will come out. It is released to the space, the body space. Here are the tissues, here are the tissues, right? So because of which the blood flows in the cavities of the body. Tissues are directly bathed in the blood. Tissues are in direct contact with the blood. Then the blood will, through a small vein, the blood will return back to where? Return back to heart. Is that clear? Right? Now try to understand here. In this case, the blood pressure is lower in the open circulatory system. Comparatively, blood pressure is low in the open circulatory system. Blood pressure is higher in the closed circulatory system. Why heart is required? Heart will just pump the blood. Because of pumping action, the pressure will be built up, right? Because of the pressure, illinda horagade hoda blood, because of the pressure, it has to return back to heart. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಪ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಗಳು ಬಾಡಿಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Is that clear? So now the next question is, in whom I can expect open circulatory system? Simply I can say that it is seen in arthropoda, right, mollusca, hemichordata. Okay, I will say like this, I will repeat it once again. Next, in the open circulatory system, if you look at, in the closed circulatory system, if you look at here, the blood pumped by the heart, the blood will flow everywhere, right? Oxygenated blood will go everywhere, deoxygenated blood will come back. Because of this closed circulation through the blood vessels like arteries, pulmonary artery, systemic aorta, you can see here superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and all, and as it goes deeper to the body, you will find capillaries, all blood vessels are found here, the blood pressure will be more. So it is seen most commonly in Annelida and our phylum Chordata. So my dear young boys and girls, it is very simple to remember which are the example for open circulatory system and closed. That is the question alva. Circulatory system start ಆಗುವಂತದ್ದೇ annelida ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. It starts from where? Annelida to chordata. Now you will definitely think, what about Ascalminthes? Ascalminthes is also organ system level. Why I am not considering it? See, Ascalminthes, even though organ system, who are the examples? Recall, ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ ರೌಂಡ್ ವರ್ಮ್, ಜಂತು ಹುಳ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದು ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟಿಯಾಸಿಸ್, ಆನೆಕಾಲು ರೋಗ ಕಾಸ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಉಚರೇರಿಯಾ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕುವ ಲೋವಾ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ರೈಟ್? ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪೆನಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೈ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ದ ಆನಿಮಲ್ ದಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಟು ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಹುಕ್ ವರ್ಮ್, ಎನ್ಸೈಲೋಸ್ಟೋಮಾ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್, ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫೈಲಮ್ Ascalminthes, majority of them are parasites, especially endoparasite. What do you mean by parasite? Parasite is any animal or organism that is depending on the host as well as it harm the host, right? Say for example the jantu hulu, the so called roundworm, Ascaris lumbricoids ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀರಿ, including me and majority of the human population commonly get infected. ನೀವು ಹೇಳುವ ಹಾಗಿಲ್ಲ I am not infected with this, no, common infection. Okay, ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ರೌಂಡ್ ವರ್ಮ್ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತವೆ intestine ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Now that ascaris or the roundworm living in my intestine, it is feeding on my body fluid or the available fluidic contents in the intestine. Meanwhile it will harm me also, it will harm the host. I am the host here in whom that organism is surviving. ನನ್ನ ಬಾಡಿಯ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅದು ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಜಂತುಹುಳು or the roundworm is a parasite. I am the host, it is harming the host. Such organisms are called what? Parasites or endoparasite. As majority members belonging to Ascalminthes, they are what? Endoparasite. To live inside my body, to live inside the host body, they have minimized their majority of the organ system. Otherwise think ಮಾಡಿ, ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಜಂತುಹುಳಕ್ಕೆ ರೌಂಡ್ ವರ್ಮ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ವಿತ್ ಲಿವರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಂಕ್ರಿಯಾಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಒಂದು ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ, ಕಿಡ್ನೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ದ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆನಿಮಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎನ್ಲಾರ್ಜ್. Is it possible for that very big size ascaris to live inside my intestine? Do I allow? No. So to live inside the host body, they have reduced such things alwa. ಒಂದು ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ, ಟು ಲಿವ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ನನ್ನ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರು ಬದುಕಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ ಕೆಲವು ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್, Ascalminthes, even though organ system level, they don't have special circulatory system in them. Remember that, okay? They have got minimized it. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Circulatory system, the blood pumping system starts from where? Look at me, concentrate. Annelida, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. Isn't it? Very simple. Which is the first one? Annelida. Last one? Chordata. Very simple. So I have blood vessel, easy to remember. ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ blood vessel ಇದೆ. I belong to last phylum Chordata. I Chordata, and the first one ಯಾರು ಈ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? Annelida. Body freight circulatory system ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ, so Chordata and Annelida are closed circulatory system. In between these two, who and all you see, ಯಾರು ಇವರ ಮಿಡ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ? Arthropoda, Mollusca, Hemichordata. Arthropoda, Mollusca, Hemichordata are the example for open circulatory system. Then what about Echinodermata? Generally in Echinodermata, circulatory system has been reduced. Okay, ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಮಿನಿಮೈಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, and they have a different system called, what is that? Water canal system or water vascular system? Which one you will tick for? Of course it is water vascular system. The heart circulation got reduced in them, but they have a different system called water vascular system. Is that clear? You are a closed circulatory system animal. You belong to Chordata, last one Chordata, first one Annelida are closed. ಅವರ ಮಿಡ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವ ಆನಿಮಲ್ಗಳು ಯಾವುದು? ಓಪನ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಸರ್ ವೆದರ್ ಆಲ್ ಅನ್ನೆಲಿಡನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್? Once again, no. In that also you will find exception. When I say Annelida, the example that come into your cerebrum is which one? Earthworm, then Nereis, then leech ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ leech exception. Leech generally ಅದು ಅನ್ನೆಲಿಡಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರೂ ಕೂಡ its circulatory system is open type. Annelidans are closed. In Annelida ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ leech. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಸರ್ whether all animals from Chordata are the closed circulatory system? Answer is no. In that also exception. You may ask me in the mollusca, yes. So remember, right now I am just telling you these are open, these are closed. Okay, when I move on to the coming sessions, I will tell you in Annelida who is not having closed, in my phylum Chordata who is exception, who is having the open circulatory system. So when you prepare this animal kingdom chapter for the NEET level, remembering these exceptions also very important. Many a times both in NEET and CET questions have been framed based on such exceptions. ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಮೈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಐ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಟು ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆನಿಮಲ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್? ಮೆಮೇಲಿಯಾ. ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಮಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು. ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಸೇ ಆಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ viviparous, give birth to young one? Do you agree with me? All mammals are viviparous. The given statement is right or wrong? What do you think? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ಏನು? It is a wrong statement, right? ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಗಿವ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವಿವಿಪ್ಯಾರಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಎರಡು ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವುದದು? ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಟಿಪಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕಿಡ್ನಾ, ರೈಟ್? ಪ್ಲಾಟಿಪಸ್, ಎಕಿಡ್ನಾ ಆರ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಮಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಲೇ ಎಗ್. ಅವರು ಮ್ಯಾಮಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ದೇ ಲೇ ದ ಎಗ್. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾರು ವಿವಿಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್, ಯುವರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್? It is the echidna and platypus. Likewise, throughout in the kingdom Animalia, when I discuss with you, I will tell you such many exceptions that are also a very important part for your which one? NEET and CET, especially NEET examination. I hope it is clear. So this is about the complexity in their circulatory system. I have classified them into open circulatory system and closed type. Now, at this point of time only, I will move on to the third character or a property that I am going to use to classify the kingdom Animalia. It is very simple one. I am going to look into their body plan. Okay, how the ಪೇಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇಸ್. ಈ ಪೇಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎದರದೇ ಆದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಆನಿಮಲಿನ ಬಾಡಿಯ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಔಟ್ಲುಕ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಆನಿಮಲ್, ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್ಸ್, ದ ಆನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಇಂಟು 3 types. What are they? They include number 1, cell aggregate body plan. Number 2, blind sac body plan. And number 3, tube within tube body plan. Let us see one by one. Animals with cellular grade. Animals with cellular grade will have the cell aggregate body plan. What does this refers to? That means which is the one that is having cellular grade? That is platyhelminthes, right? Here the animal is multicellular. ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ aggregated. They have come together, but do they form tissue? No, do not form tissue, right? So animals with cellular grade, I am very sorry, make the correction, not platyhelminthes. Which one? Porifera. Porifera is the example for which one? Cell aggregate kind of a body plan. Cells have just aggregated. Okay. Next kind of body plan that we will see in some animals is blind sac body plan, where the animal body look like a sac. Blind sac andre where one end will be open, another end will be closed. ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಂಡ್ ಓಪನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಇದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಆನಿಮಲ್ which has especially what? The animal which has incomplete digestive system. Incomplete digestive system, if you look at their body, because of only one opening, their body look like a sac. ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಪ್ಲಾನ್, ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸೀನ್ ಇನ್ whom? Platyhelminthes, due to the incomplete digestive system. Meanwhile, the previous two phylums, which are they? That is, one is the Coelenterata. Like if you take the example of Hydra, this Hydra is not having the digestive system, but they have gastrovascular cavity in them, right? They have GVC in them. Because of the GVC, their body also look like a blind sack. Such similar thing will be even seen in the Ctenophora also. So I will write here Coelenterata as well as the Ctenophora are the two more phylums which also show blind sac kind of a body plan. But the expected Neet question is, out of the three, which one has blind sac because of incomplete digestive system? Then your answer is which one? Platyhelminthes. Or they may give you a statement like this in the Neet: Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, all three show blind sac body plan because they have incomplete digestive system. What do you think? The statement is right or wrong? It is a wrong statement, ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ Coelenterata, Ctenophora ಇರುವ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಗ್ರೇಡ್. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬರಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್, ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, right? Incomplete digestive system in the blind sac ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ? Platyhelminthes. The third is, when the animal body is having the complete digestive system, that is, anterior end is having mouth, the posterior end is having the anus, where the digestive system or alimentary canal act as a tube, okay, passing at the center of my body. Exactly at the center my tube is there. Which tube is there? My alimentary canal is there. Around the alimentary canal, right, you are going to see here in this man, you can see the hand, you can see his legs. Yes or no? It will continue into the neck. Hope you can imagine. Here the body wall, right? This body wall act as one more tube. Just try to imagine. Idu nanna body wall alva, ee ಒಂದು ಪೆರಿಫೆರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡಿ ವಾಲ್ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಬಾಡಿ ವಾಲ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಟ್ಯೂಬಿನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಎಟ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟರ್, ರೈಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ಅನದರ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಕೆನಾಲ್ ಆರ್ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. A tube called alimentary canal is present within a one more tube called body wall. It is called tube within a tube body plan is shown by an animal when it has what kind of digestive system? Complete digestive system. And remember, it is seen from, you know the answer already that you have studied. It starts from where? Even though it is minimized in them, you will find in the Ascalminthes up to my phylum, what is that? Chordata. Is that clear? ಕೆಲವು ಆನಿಮಲ್ಗಳ ಬಾಡಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಕೇವಲ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಸೆಲ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಪ್ಲಾನ್, ಪೊರಿಫೆರಾ. Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes ಅವರ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಯಾಕಿನ ಹಾಗೆ, ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಪ್ಯಾನ್. ಬಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟಿಹೆಲ್ಮಿಂಥಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಇನ್ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಬಟ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಸಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾವಿಟಿ ಇನ್ Coelenterata and Ctenophora, they are also known for this kind of a body plan, right? Whereas from Ascalminthes to Chordata, because of what kind of digestive system? Focus on this, the complete digestive system. The digestive system is present within another tube called body wall. It is called tube within a tube. One tube, innondu tube ina ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ. Now, this is very important for your Neet preparation. These animals which represent tube within tube body plan, they are once again classified into two types. What are they? Number one, the tube within tube are of two types. Number one, protostomes, number one, protostomes, and number one, deuterostomes. Don't neglect them, it is important one. So I am speaking about these members with this particular body plan. Now what exactly these are? To understand these two concepts, you need to go to their embryonic stage. I will take when these animals are in their embryonic stage. Okay, let me take a simple embryo diagram. Consider idu ಒಂದು embryo. Okay, now the embryos usually have one opening. That embryonic opening is called blastopore. What is the opening of the embryo called? Blastopore anta heltave. That embryo opening was there during my embryonic development from Ascalminthus to Chordata. Okay. Now, in some members, right, like especially in, I will write the list here, Ascalminthus, Annelida, Arthropoda and Mollusca. ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. Ascalminthus, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. Do they have complete or incomplete digestive system? No doubt. They have which one? The complete digestive system. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ tube within tube body ಇದೆ. Ascalminthus to Mollusca, their blastopore develops into mouth. Okay. The blastopore develops into mouth, then gradually the opposite end where you can expect what? Anus. So first what is formed? First mouth is developed from the blastopore. I repeat, mouth developed from the embryonic blastopore first. ಮೊದಲು ಮೌತ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಅದಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ? ಏನಸ್. ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್. ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯೂಬ್, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟ್ಯೂಬ್, ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ವಾಲ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ರೈಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಆಸ್ಕಲ್ಮಿಂಥಸ್ ಟು ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾ. ಆಸ್ ಮೌತ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟೋಪೋರ್, that is called protostomes. Okay, or yes, they are called protostome. Protostome, stoma refers to mouth. Kelirbodu, have you heard cyclostomata? Cyclo, circular, stoma, mouth. Stoma andre enanta artha? Mouth. So protostoma, first mouth. You can remember like this: protostoma, first mouth. Example, Ascalminthus to Mollusca. Whereas who are left out here? The left out one are Echinodermata, Hemichordata and my phylum, which one? Chordata. Very important. Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata, what happens is their blastopore will not develop into mouth first. Very important. Will not develop into mouth first. First, what is developed? Anus. Okay, in our embryo also, first what is developed? Anus is developed. Mouth will develop later on. Mouth will not develop from the blastopore. So what is developed first? Mouth. So what is developed next? Mouth formed next. That's why it is called deuterostoma. Next mouth, second mouth, it is called deuterostoma. When second is mouth, question is which one first? Your answer is anus. Blastopore will first develop into, what is that? Anus. Its opposite end may gradually develop into what? Mouth. Right? That condition is called deuterostome. Guys, remember, protostomes and deuterostomes are the further classification of animals who have tube within tube body plan. ಈ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಏನಾಗಿರಲೇಬೇಕು? ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೂ? ಆಸ್ಕಲ್ಮಿಂಥಸ್ ಟು ಫೈಲಮ್ ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಆಸ್ಕಲ್ಮಿಂಥಸ್ ಟು ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾ, ದೇ ಆರ್ protostomes. Blastopore first develop into mouth. Echinodermata, hemichordata, chordata are deuterostomes because mouth is formed next. That is the reason. Nothing but blastopore first develop into anus. It will not develop into mouth. Now the question is, in the evolution, with respect to evolution, by keeping this in view, this concept in your mind, can you tell me which is the closest ancestor of phylum Chordata? Which is the closest ancestor of phylum Chordata? Options are option 1 Arthropoda, option 2 Mollusca, option 3 Annelida, option 4 Echinodermata. Which is your answer? ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹೋದರೆ Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca are protostomes. ಆದರೆ Echinodermata is a deuterostome like ನಮ್ಮ ಹಾಗೆ. So at evolutionary point of view, when you think echinoderms become the closest relatives or the ancestors of phylum Chordata. Why? Because both of we have deuterostome kind of a body plan. That is the reason. So in this session I have discussed with you how to classify the kingdom Animalia. Here we studied based on habitat, based on cellular arrangement we have given the grades to them. Meanwhile we studied the complexities in the organ system. The third method of classification, it is what? Body plan. So in my next session I will discuss with you the germ layers, coelom in that different type, segmentation and notochord that we will study in our next session. Thank you students.